Hello, I'm Skip Richter and I'm horticulturist with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension in Brazos County. I want to talk to you today about mowing the lawn. Now you may feel like, well, I've mowed the lawn all my life. I know how to mow a lawn. Well, I want to talk to you about a way to get more out of your nutrients, and that is by returning the clippings. Now the proper way to mow a lawn is to cut off about 1/3 of the leaf blade with each mowing. So with something like St. Augustine, we want to mow that at about 2.5 or 3 inches high. So when it gets up about 1/3 higher, about another inch or so, then we mow the lawn down, cutting off 1/3 back to, let's say, 3 inches high. With things like zoysia, it's going to be down in the 1.5 inch, maybe 2 inch range with some of the broader leaf types of zoysia. With Bermuda grass, it's going to be a little bit lower, down around the 1 inch, 1.5 inch range probably for most of the types of Bermuda grass. It could go a little higher if you have just only a medium dwarf Bermuda. Well, every time you cut off one of these clippings, it falls into the lawn and it decomposes over time. Now in the process, the dried clippings, as they decompose near the surface, they're blocking the light. So in a small way, returning your clippings helps cut down on some of the annual weed seed problems because weeds need light to germinate and establish well. But the main thing that's going to happen here is this clipping is going to decompose. Now that clipping has exactly the blend of nutrients that grass needs to grow, because that is grass that you're holding up. And that's not just the big three on the fertilizer bag: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. It includes all the micros like iron and manganese and zinc and so on. So this is a complete fertilizer for your lawn. When you return the clippings into the lawn, you release those nutrients back. And so if you are bagging these and putting it at the curb so somebody can haul them away for you, you're renting fertilizer. You buy fertilizer, you grow grass clippings with it, and then you have somebody else haul it away. That doesn't make any sense. It makes a lot more sense to use the Don't Bag It system that was developed at A&M many years ago. And by releasing those back into the lawn, those clippings cycle the nutrients. Now that doesn't mean that you don't have to fertilize at all. We still do fertilize. But if you capture and haul away your clippings, you're going to have to fertilize even more just to make up for the loss. And remember, the fertilizer in the bag is not going to contain all the micros that a clipping does. So it just makes sense to return those clippings. Now when we're mowing, I talked about mowing height. As you get into the shade and your grass is a little bit thin, it helps to set the mower a little bit higher. Number one, the higher you mow, the less often you mow, because it has to grow more before it's reached that 1/3 that you cut off size. In the shade or in the sun, these grass blades are solar panels that capture the sunlight to make carbohydrates to support healthy growth and to build good density in your lawn. So if you leave a little more solar panel rather than mowing it down really low, that helps it to capture a little more sunlight so that in shade where it's already struggling, it has a chance to not only survive, but maybe even to fill in a little bit better than it otherwise would have. It just makes sense to mow at the right time and to return those clippings to the lawn. And you can use your mulching mower for that. If you don't have a mulching mower, there are sometimes devices you can purchase for your mower that close off the discharge chute. But however you want to go about it, just make sure and return those clippings. Now the one time when I recommend people capture clippings, actually 2 times. One is in the spring when all those winter weeds are blooming and going to seed. I would put a bagger on then, capture as much of that seed as you can to get it out of your lawn, and then go back to the regular Don't Bag It mowing type. The other time is if it rains and grass really gets tall on you and it just too much to mulch back into the lawn, you can go ahead and capture those clippings, but remember what's in them. Use that as mulch in your garden beds because it's valuable material. Well, I hope you've learned a little bit about mowing the lawn and the value of the clippings. We look forward to talking to you again sometime on Aggie Horticulture, Facebook Live.